Decision 2024. We are in the final stretch of election season. Presidential candidates Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are once again campaigning in the same state. But instead of a battleground state, it is the reliably red Texas. We have live team coverage. NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell joining us to offer her take. However, we begin with political reporter Matt Pritchard. So, Matt, talk to me about how Texas is factoring into these final days.
Well, JC, you said it. Texas is reliably red and likely to stay that way. But a tight Senate race and reproductive rights are bringing the Lone Star State back into the spotlight. The road to the White House.
We'll do everything we can when we come back.
It is important to highlight this issue.
Making an unorthodox turn through Texas. Donald Trump focusing on immigration and a sit-down with popular podcaster Joe Rogan. Kamala Harris honing in on reproductive rights while rallying with Beyonce in Houston. For Harris, the campaign stop is less about gathering electoral votes and more about Senate control, showing support for Colin Allred, who is seeking to unseat two-term Senator Ted Cruz.
Showing up there with Beyonce and talking about reproductive rights is just smart strategy.
I think Ted Cruz is very strong. I think he's very strong in Texas, and I'm not sure what she's after there.
And those perspectives seemingly flip when talking about Trump's interview with Rogan.
Joe Rogan has made no secret of thinking that Trump is a bit of a clown and really not getting on the Trump train. And yet he represents this audience, this massive audience of young male voters.
I don't know how many swing voters or reachable voters there are that are listening to Joe Rogan. But it's very consistent with what Trump has done the entire campaign, which is to go to these more friendly venues.
And while Texas draws headlines,
people are paying attention. They're engaged.
The focus remains on battleground states and the voters that will ultimately decide the 2024 election.
Our latest CNBC poll shows that just 18% of voters are still what we have called them persuadable. So it's a pretty small sliver when you break that down by battleground state.
Days to go until November 5th. And one last reminder here, if you want to vote and you haven't registered yet, the deadline to do so is tomorrow. You can find more information on the Secretary of State's website. In studio, Matt Pritchard, NBC 10 Boston.